be showing you how to mod your PS4 controller. Now, I'm going to be doing it in a couple of episodes. This first episode that I'm doing right now, I'm going to show you how to paint it. And the reason why I got an all-white controller is because I just want to do a little bit of red on it. This red spray paint works with plastic. And it also has the primer in it. Make sure you get that. And once I finish this episode, I'm gonna start modding it, like putting LEDs in it. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to do the scuf mod with this. It's called the Easy Remap board. I got it off eBay for I think 15 bucks. So yeah, it makes it super easy to remap your PS4 buttons because it's kind of hard to find the soldering points on the circuit board itself. So for this episode, you're just gonna need just a screwdriver for now, just to unscrew your controller. You're gonna need some spray paint and some sandpaper to file down this part to make it a little bit rougher, so it can make all the paint stick to it. Alright, so once you get all the screws out, you're going to want to, right here, you kind of just got to apply a little bit of pressure until you hear it click and it separates. And then same thing on the other side. And then you pretty much just want to go around with the whole controller. And right here, there's going to be this little clip that you're going to push down. It's pretty hard to do. So once you get everything all like unclipped and everything, I just used a pair of tweezers and went around the sides with it, and everything came undone. Once you get everything all unclipped, all those little plastic pieces, you just want to lift it over the L2 and then lift this side over the R2, and then you're all set, and the whole thing will just come apart. Once it's apart, you're going to want to take out this little ribbon piece that's right there in the middle. Once you take that out, you can just throw this aside for now. Now just take out the battery so you don't mess anything up. All it is, you just gotta pull it and you're all set. Now throw this aside. Now this is actually one of the new controllers. I just realized it. Now you just want to take out this plastic piece. There should be two little clips that hold it on the sides of the circuit board. Once you do that, you're all set. Put this aside. Now you want to take this ribbon part out. This is for the touchpad. So all you had to do for this part was it just slipped right out. I thought there was a little latch thing that you had to do. That's how the old controllers were. So yeah, just pull that through. Now there's gonna be one screw right here. On older controllers, it's usually right here. So since this is a new one, yeah. Once you take this screw out, just throw it to the side with all your other screws. And now you should be able to remove this whole tray pot. First you gotta feed this through. I just realized it. Once you feed that through, just pull it and you're all set. Now you just want to put this aside for now. You're not going to need it. Now once you get that tray out of there, now you just want to take out the buttons. You just want to peel off these silicone pieces. Put these aside. And Now let's take this out, the touchpad. Now let's take out all the buttons. Watch out for these two buttons, the sharing options, they might fall out on you. There you go. Oh, the home button too. Alright, so now once you get everything all set, what you're left with is the top part of the shell. And the way I'm going to be doing this controller is the bottom half. Yeah, let me take this one apart. I ordered this all clear ps4 shell on eBay for 10 bucks. And the whole bottom is going to be glowing. I'm going to put all red LEDs on the bottom. So when you sit it down or something like that, it's going to be glowing. Wrong part. So it's going to be like this. In certain areas I'm going to put LEDs all around it. So when it's down here, it'll like glow on the table, all the red. And behind all the buttons is going to be all red. Behind the analog, red. Button will be red. And I'm planning on putting like blood splats over it, and I'll show you guys how to do that too. But for now, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to take really super fine sandpaper and kind of rub on the white material in circles. And you just want to rough it all up so that the red paint is going to stick to it. So I'm going to go over it really, really lightly. Okay, so once you think you did good enough, now what you want to get some alcohol, and you want to just spray a little bit on the sandpaper, and now sand over it again. This is gonna clean it a little bit. Now once that's done, you pretty much just want to go rinse it under some water and maybe clean a little bit with soap. Once you do all that, you pretty much don't want to touch it, because if you get like your oil from your hands on it, it'll kind of show later on underneath the paint. So yeah, now let's go paint it. Now, I actually forgot to talk about the clear part. You could sand a little bit on the inside. Well, I'm not painting the outside, because if you don't paint, since I'm not painting the outside, I'm not going to have to worry about it chipping off in the future and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to do some blood splatters on the inside of the controller and then clear coat that, and that will pretty much last forever, and it'll also give it this cool effect. So you could go ahead and sand the inside a little, and it should be all set. Now, I forgot to mention, I recommend that you guys do what I just did. You just get regular blue masking tape, and you pretty much just want to go around all the holes where all the buttons are. I'm not going to worry about these ones because I never really had much trouble with these ones sticking, but sometimes when you spray paint and a little bit of paint gets around the button holes, the buttons will start to stick eventually, and it gets really, really aggravating. So I went ahead and just did a little bit around the touchpad, around the analog sticks, and around the face buttons and the home button. Alright, so now what you guys are going to want to do is you want to take your red paint. Now, since I'm doing a blood splatter type of design, I'm doing it a different way. All I did was take this red hood milk cap, and you just keep spraying a little bit, just a little by a little, and just fill up the cap a little bit. Once you fill up the cap a little bit, there'll be like a little puddle of red paint in there. And yeah, let me do a test run real quick. You're just gonna wanna take the cap and just kind of like splatter. Like right there, I had way too much paint inside that cap. So thank God I did a little test run. So you just want to just splat over the controller. Alright, so now I'm going to do the first splat design on this all-white controller. Alright, I ran out. I'm going to apply a little bit more. Not too much or else you'll get big blobs and it won't look as good. A little bit more than that. Now I don't want to do too many splats or else it'll be a little too much and it'll look kind of funny. So I'm just going to do a couple more. Alright, now here's a little tip that you guys can do. You can get a straw and kind of just pour a little bit of spray paint inside the tip of the straw and just blow on the controller and it'll do little tiny splats. I'll set that up and I'll show you. Alright, so right now there's just a little bit of spray paint in there. I'm going to aim it in the area that I want and just blow in it. And as you can see, it did a bunch of little spots everywhere. And so far I guess that's good. Alright, so I finished the top part. Now I'm going to move on to the bottom part. As you can see, it's just the clear shell. You just basically want to do the same procedure. I'll show you guys the top shell later on once it's all dry. So for now I'm just going to do this one. Same exact thing. Just take it and just splash it. Now that was a lot, but it actually didn't come out that bad. Same thing on the other side. This is a quick, easy way to mod your controller, and it actually comes out good no matter what you do. So it's a great way for beginners. Now, I actually decided to do a little bit of blood splatter on the light bar piece. I thought it would look pretty cool. And yeah, just do the same procedure what you did with this. So far this is how the top part came out. I think it came out okay for the first time of me painting a controller. I don't really like that part. I kind of dropped a little blob on it and I tried to make it splat out. Kind of worked out. But yeah. The inside piece, I think that came out pretty good. It looks better in person than it does on the camera. And if you want it to dry a little bit quicker, I used the heat gun. And I just held it up to it for a little while. And so far I think it's almost done drying. I might wait like an hour. Same thing with this. Now I'm going to get to that. Now for the most important part is the clear coat. I have this automotive clear coat stuff that they use for cars. It's high gloss. So this is going to come out really glossy and look like, give it a really good shine. So this is the most important part, because if you don't do a good job, your controller is going to look like crap in the end. And you're going to have to do like probably about 10 layers, 10 coats. And in between each coat, you want to let it dry for pretty much an hour. So you just want to go back and forward with it, really slow. Well, actually fast, and just do quick motions, like this. That's all you want to do for the first coat. You don't want to touch it anymore. Alright, now let's do the little piece. That's how that came out. Just something little to add on to. And yeah, now just let that dry. Once you think that's dry enough, now just add another coat. This one will be a little bit thicker of a coat. And, well, this one doesn't really matter as much because all the red is on the inside of the controller and nothing's going to be touching it. So I might only do like 2 more coats on that one. This one, since your hands are going to be on it, you really want to make sure that you got a good clear coat finish all over it, so that the red will stay there for pretty much forever. And with this clear coat stuff, it will stay there forever pretty much. Just walk all around it and just get every area that you can. So that's good for that part of the controller for now. Do a little bit on here. And do this. Alright, so the clear coat is finally finished drying. And this is the end result. As you can see, it's really shiny and everything. And the clear coat that I use is actually automotive stuff. So it's really heavy duty. So like nothing will ever get scratched. It's really hard. This will pretty much be there forever. So as you can see, I did a simple blood splat, and I already installed this circuit board. But yeah. So as I said, my plans for this controller is I'm going to be doing all red LEDs behind each button, even the share and options ones, and I'm going to show you guys how to do all these. Now, I'm not going to do the top ones because I can't with this controller, because the clear buttons that I got are only made for the first and second generation controllers. And what I actually had to do for this controller was I actually had to hot glue the charging circuit board to this. I couldn't even use the screws because even this circuit is different on the third generation one. So my plans for this controller is to also put LEDs on the bottom and make this bottom part all illuminate with the buttons on the top and the analog sticks. So like, say if you're just letting it rest on the table, it'll be glowing right now on the floor. And as I was spray painting this one, I actually decided to do another controller. Decided to make this one, and I personally think that this one came out better. But I mean, once I'm done with the LEDs with that one, I think it'll be pretty cool. This one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make the buttons all glow red. And I'm going to do these ones too, the L2, R2. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to do those too. And I also put my name on the back. It's the first time I ever tried stenciling with like spray paint. I mean, it didn't come out that bad. I wish I did better. But yeah, I did the same clear coat. You can see it's nice and shiny. It's really hard. This will never ever scratch off. And yeah, comment, like, and subscribe if you like this video. And stay tuned for the full LED mod video coming up pretty soon.